Hello. In this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about the overall functions of InDesign, its place in the Adobe universe, and how you should approach projects when setting things up. If you've taken my class ever, you've heard me talking very poorly about InDesign, and it's because I hate it so much. I hate it. But it does serve a very useful purpose, and credit where it's due, it does really well at it. So when you think about Illustrator and you think about Photoshop, you think like vector graphics and raster graphics and image making, right? Um, you should not be making images in InDesign. That's not its function. Its function is to bring content together and design it in a very meaningful way. So think presentations, think books, those sort of formats. In this project, you're designing a poster, but it's a really good first step in getting content and images and stuff onto a page. So InDesign, page layout, book layout, presentation layouts. Um, because of that, it can accommodate pretty much any color space. Typically, we're working in CMYK or RGB. It can accommodate both. And you'll notice when we set up our document, we did not declare if this was for RGB or CMYK. You didn't see that setting anywhere. And that's because InDesign kind of works as Windows. And by Windows, I mean it gives you a glimpse into whatever you're putting into it. So if I'm making imagery in the CMYK color space or the RGB color space, and I place that image into this file, it will honor that. And then when I go to export, let's say a PDF, it will still honor that color space. Um, it's very powerful, and we love that. You'll notice over here on the left, if you click this arrow, it kind of makes it a different size, but who cares? Very familiar tools. So we got the selection tool and then the direct select tool. These will probably be the most two commonly used tools here. Similar to Illustrator and Photoshop, we've got the type tool, the line segment tool, your pen tool, pencil tool. We have our shape tool, so like the rectangle tool, and if you click and hold, we do get our ellipse and polygon tool, but we also have this added frame tool above it. Gradient tool, eye drop tool, hand tool if you want to move around. All of that is the same. Over on the right, you'll see a properties panel. We touched on this a little bit in the previous video, but this will react to whatever content you have selected. So in the case that we have a rectangle, you'll see it transforms into relevant content. So its position, I could add a fill or a stroke here. Um, Opacity, you could add effects, alignment, text wrap, all that kind of stuff. If you add type, it creates a whole separate section of properties that you can control. But ultimately, this is it. Another very powerful feature you should know about InDesign is its controls of pages. So next to your properties panel, you'll see this little tab that says pages. And when I click that, it's going to open up this menu for us. And so if it's the case, and it is the case, that you want to iterate on, let's say, your poster layout, experiment with different layouts of the type or the image or whatever, um, what does that look like? It looks like iterating. And so you can either click this button at the very bottom, or you can drag your whole content down there to the plus, and it'll just duplicate your design over again. And so then it gives you like little thumbnails of what is on each page, and you could double click to return to it. Parent pages, this is a really powerful tool. We're not going to use it for this project, but you will be using it in your third project. But if you double click into your parent page, this is content that will exist on every single page. So like if I just add a quick little rectangle, then I go back, you'll see this rectangle appear on every single page. That doesn't do anything because rectangles are dumb, so I'm just going to remove it. But think like, what's content you would want on every page? Those are page numbers, running footers, chapter titles, that kind of stuff. The last thing I want to show you, if you're anything like me and you're looking at your design, you're like, man, I just cannot get the grasp of this blue square very good because it has all these cyan lines running through it. And, my magenta margin lines are really distracting me. In class, you'll see me open this really quickly. I'm just hitting W on my keyboard. This is called preview mode. It hides all the non-printing objects. So grids, margins, any sort of like notes that you commit to those layers or type treatments, it will disappear them, which is pretty cool. There's also another feature called presentation mode, which is Shift W. And if you hit that, it kind of throws you into the presentation mode. So if you ever see me do that in class, that's what I'm doing. But overall, that's the core function of InDesign, how you should kind of approach it. In the next video, I'm going to start showing you how to use type and the type tool specifically. Look forward to it. Thanks.